But we got backyard football. The big news from yesterday, the most important news, the backyard sports franchise that you guys hopefully know and love. If you're too young to have played it, well, you're in luck. It was a massive part of both of our childhoods.
Yes.
It is officially back.
Yeah, it's back. It's so much fun. And there's so many of these types of games that are like relaxed versions of the games we know and love so much. I think about NFL Street, NFL Blitz, NBA Jam. I'm going to put backyard sports into this category. And here, our tremendous producers, the guys in the back of the room here, have thrown up the roster. This is the lineup. And we are going down the
this
roster
took me
today.
back.
It's like the blast from the past of all blasts from the past. So for our kids now, my 2-year-old, she'll be able to play this game in a few years. So hopefully this will be her intro to organized sports. Who are you most excited about seeing making a comeback here, Mike?
I mean, Pablo Sanchez was the undeniable GOAT of the backyard franchise.
The Mahomes of backyard sports.
But Pete Wheeler was like the Josh Allen. The guy was a 5-tool player. That guy had it all, but maybe wasn't the most eloquent of kids, shall we say.
He's a little bit of the Forrest Gump situation. He can run by the entire SEC kickoff coverage unit, but sometimes you got to tell him which base to go to on the baseball field.
But see, I was a baseball guy. I never played the football version, but I'm excited to now. But in baseball, it was Pablo Sanchez, Pete Wheeler. That was like tier 1.
Yep.
Ahmed Khan, Keisha Phillips somehow was in like a tier 2.
She's almost tier 1.
Yeah, those were your top end players. If you were playing a game, you wanted them on your team. After that, I used to love Mikey Thomas, power hitter. He used to drop bombs. I believe he was a lefty, if I recall.
The great thing about this franchise is you find a way to mix up your roster. So every single time you have a new batter, let's say we're playing baseball, every batter that you face is going to present a different set of issues. I think it's a good problem-solving technique to get these kids working on, okay, this is this guy or gal.
Exactly.
It's fun. A little bit of strategy involved, but big shout out to the backyard sports. If you guys have a favorite athlete from backyard basketball, baseball, football, go ahead, put it in the chat, tweet at us, whatever you got to do. We have our favorites. I'm a big Keisha Phillips guy. She was like my Frank Thomas.
She's a big,
she's like my Francesca Thomas out there, Keisha, dropping bombs. So big shout out to backyard sports.
The biggest thing that I sort of realized going back and looking at this was how the diversity and inclusion of it. They had a kid in a wheelchair. They had the spectrum there. They were way ahead of their time.
Ahead of their time, but also one thing we pointed out when we got to the office this morning is that, yes, there was a lot of inclusion and diversity, but the nerdy kid actually still
The nerdy kid stunk. And they drew the Kawaguchis like they were 1940s war propaganda, which was
Kawaguchi
tough.
baller, though.
So I think we'll get an update on some of those things, but safe to say we're very excited to see backyard football come back.